So I don't have the pen with me right now, and I'm not allowed to get out of the bed pending PT protocol. But I wanted to get on my phone and just talk because I well, he wants me to write a book, and so I'm trying to just gather some thoughts. My thoughts about this rotten disease are that it is a very trying disease. You try hard not to say everything's okay. You try hard not to go to the ER. You try hard not to just say I give up. Every day you're faced with the number of circumstances, whether it be walking across the street or wheeling yourself across the street if you're in a wheelchair like I am, or you face a obstacle of going in for IVIG treatments, or going to the doctor, or getting up out of bed even. Many of us have anxiety issues because of this disease. And one of the main ones is falls. I have fallen maybe 30, 40 times, and I'm only 23 years old. I've fallen more times than my age. And if that's not enough, since I have the C5, C7 spasticity in my neck, my disease is now affecting my chest muscles and my throat muscles. So now I'm choking at random times when I don't even know it's going to happen. How's that for a life? But if there's one thing that I'm not going to complain about, is that my faith as a Catholic is more strong than this one disease. My faith has made me get to this point of diagnosis. I started having symptoms about 5 years ago. I only had a hand tremor, and it was the worst experience of my life because it meant I had to give up a job that I was born to do. I was going to EMS school at the time, Emergency Medical Services, and I had already completed my first section of classes, and I was going to go to AMT school, and I got to 2 weeks left through the program, and I had to flunk out because I had a hand tremor. Worst time in my entire life because it meant something I loved was gone in a split second because I wouldn't put my patients' lives in danger. And then I started to notice that I was having trouble walking. Sometimes it would be even just getting out of the bed would be hard. I had my first fall, I think, when I was 20, I believe. It was down a flight of stairs. Didn't know it was coming, just out of nowhere. Now looking back on it, I could maybe say emotion, something maybe was going on, or the noise of the elevator, or just something was off. I'm not really sure. And then after that was about the time I started using a cane. That was the hardest, I think, the hardest experience of my life. It was going from being completely independent up till 18, and then 19, 20 started to deteriorate, and then by 20 you're on a cane. It's not fair. You know, I'm 23 years old now, but it's not even fair to be in a wheelchair, even. I started to have symptoms in my neck, abdomen, and back later on, actually. But more prominently became my legs. When I was about 21, I ended up on a walker and a manual wheelchair for community access. At 22. By 22, um, at this point, I'm 23 years old, just turned 23, and I am looking at either being in my manual chair when I'm at home, being in my power wheelchair when I'm outside, or being stuck in my bed, which I'm right now, so I can't get up to get a pen. Or I would try and get in my wheelchair and get a pen. Sometimes I like to put on a brave face. It's for my family, for my friends. I don't have the best poker face, if you want to call it. I don't have a good filter. Usually people can tell when something's off about me. They just know. And I'm always trying to be strong. Always. And it's terrible. There are a couple instances I can recall where I've had to be strong for other people, and it's been hard. But if anything, the one thing that's been strong for me is my faith. Because when I was in nursing homes and I was unable to go outside and this and that, I had to rely on my faith. Because the only thing that was strong enough in me was my faith. I've gotten more and more aware of how my body is now, but being young, average diagnosis range is 30 to 60. There are not many people that are under the age of 30 with this disease. It's 1 in a million. The disease is called stiff person syndrome. 1 in a million. And less than, probably I'd say, I don't even have statistics, but like 5% maybe, I'm not even sure, have this disease less than 30 years of age. It's gonna get to the point where I won't even be able to walk or even do anything, and it's scary, it's alarming, it's frustrating, and I'm just a kid, I'm trying to live my lifestyle. I may not be a kid, but I'm still a young adult who's trying to find their way in life. I am 23 years old. I was just starting college, for God's sake, when this happened. I had my entire life, flash before my eyes. In 1 minute, I was done. Now, I don't know how many of you can actually sit there and say that you're okay with that, because I say it, but sometimes I'm not. I'm not okay with it because I still have my spiteness about it. But what I try to do is find the good and the bad. My own sister didn't care much about me being able to fall, but yet my PT did. He wanted to know if I was okay. He wanted to make sure that I didn't hurt my head. I fell on Thanksgiving. And if anything, you can't tell me that there's not one person in your life that cares about you. I have one person. I have probably 10,000 people. I don't know. But what is the object of this disease is to take you and crumble you into a piece of paper that is no more than ordinary. I want to make this disease seem like nothing. I don't want to let SPS define who I am, and what I am. And what I am is a Catholic, an SPSer, and a person who is willing to fight tooth and nail to survive. I've lived a long life, but being who I am is not hard. It's about having the faith in God to say, I love myself more than taking drugs to try and exacerbate pain. And drugs, I mean illicit drugs, not drugs when prescribed by a physician. You can sit there and say you love God, but if you don't put that faith into action, it's worthless. It's worth nothing to say I love God and I respect God and I have faith. If you don't show it when you are faced with deathly circumstances or persecution or undying hatred, there's nothing in the world that can save you. My SPS will not define the Catholic I am, the person I am, or the person I will become. One day, I'm going to be a better person for it, which I already am a lot more. I may be a better Catholic for it, which I already am in some ways. Other ways not. There's still work to improve on in every way, person and Catholic. And someday, I'm going to be something. I don't know what. I have a feeling that my dreams will lie elsewhere. I'm thinking about social work now. Helping others to not go through the hell I've gone through. How many misdiagnoses? I had so many. I had MS, spinal stenosis, somatic disorder, conversion disorder, I think, at one point. Bunch of different things. And all I needed was somebody to listen. And I can honestly say that Dr. Bangalore at Sunrise Hospital in Las Vegas, Nevada, and the doctors and nurses on the Neurostroke Services Division saved my life. Because without them, we wouldn't have been 1 inch even closer to finding out the real diagnosis. And I can honestly say that Dr. Arlene Valencia in Las Vegas, Nevada, Las Vegas Neurology, saved my life. Because she did a GAD65 antibody test again, and it was positive. It was 37. I am now, as of about 2 months ago, I'm at 180. That was back in July with 37. They vary, and we'll see where this life takes us. But either way, I'm going to fight. And I'm going to win this war. Everyone likes to say 2 things in the SPS community. 1, SPS does not take a holiday. And 2, it's different for everybody. And my fight is going to be the difference. Because I plan on riding the road of treatment cycles and things. But every small treatment cycle is a battle. And every battle wins the war. Now I could sit here and talk to you about how faith is strong at some points, but it is not. With this disease, I've lost it maybe twice. But in the 1.5 years that I've been dealing with the different diagnoses, I have developed a sense of, okay, something's going wrong. I knew it was. God, you have other plans. And in some way, we're going to get this. And believing that wholeheartedly and just saying, okay, I trust. I trust. You will figure this out in no time. I can be pissed. I can be mad. But the one thing I will not do is give up. I mean so much more to myself now than I did when I was 18. Because of what I've had to deal with. I'll tell you right now what I'm experiencing. So, since I'm stuck here, I can't really get up and get a pen, like I said. So right now, I'm feeling a tightness that's traveling down my right leg to my toes and up through my hips and my belly. And it's making it kind of hard to get up on my one good side that's kind of like still kind of like functional a little bit, which is my left side a little bit. Both sides are usually affected, but one is more severe than the other right now. Thank God. But if you have some type of mood disorder or anxiety or some type of condition, psychological or physiological, let's even say physiological for everything, do not let people ridicule you. 2, let your torment of your own brain take over. And 3, do not ever give up on your own treatment, no matter if it's antipsychotics or immunotherapy or PT or just your own mind games you play with yourself. Because the more treatment you do for yourself, the better off you're going to be. No matter if you have anxiety, asthma, stiff person syndrome, ALS, spinal stenosis, MS, Parkinson's, schizophrenia, bipolar, CP, pneumonia, or anything in between. You're going to be able to survive if you keep on, 1, keeping with your treatments, no matter what they are. Keep those mind games in check. 3, just live life. Everyone is dying. Me, I'm dying a little bit faster. So what? But I'm going to live. I'm going to say I lived. I want to say I lived to the very end of my life. And whenever that day comes, I'll be ready. But I didn't have my paper. But this was for you, man. I made a vlog because you told me I had to start suppressing myself in healthier ways, and that's one of those ways, as you described, is to write a book. I'd be a great writer. Maybe I would be. I don't know.